Today, a film by Kabir Khurana. So let's all welcome the cast and crew of the movie Hangout. So we have with us today here Simran Lakhanpal, the producer. Simran, can we see you here on screen? Everybody, can you see Simran? Hi, Simran.
Hi.
And then we have Ramneek, the co-producer. Hi, Ramneek.
Hi, everybody.
Director Kabir Khurana.
Hi, hello.
The actress Anisa Bhatt.
Hi.
And we have the actor Arjun Singh. Hi, Arjun.
Hi, guys. I hope everyone's doing well.
And the co-director Prateek with us.
Hi, hello everyone.
A warm welcome to the cast and crew of the movie Hangout, and heartiest congratulations for the streaming of the movie Hangout today on Disney Plus Hotstar. So let's start with I would like to start with the producer Simran. Let me introduce a bit about Simran to all of you. With the background in theatre and journalism, a short film seemed the next best step to convey a sentiment across. And the co-producer of the movie is Ramneek Sahani. Ramneek has worked in a UK-based fashion house and has since the beginning of the pandemic volunteered actively with the local museum in London. So Ramneek and Simran, I'd like to know from you that when did this idea of the movie came in your mind and how did the birth of the movie Hangout happen? If both can tell about the, how it conceived, the idea.
You will take that.
So I think we were just fed up of being mothers and we were saturated with writing essays for our children. So it was really over a nightly phone call and a brainwave that one fine day I picked up the phone and must have been about 2 a.m. and I said, Ramneek, come on, let's just put our brains to use. Let's come up with a few concepts and are you in it with me? And she was like, absolutely, I'm raring to go.
Wow.
So the next thing it was call up Rohan, and Rohan, I've known Rohan for a while. He's the creative producer, and he immediately brought Kabir on board. And within, I think, 72 hours, we had this ball rolling. Kabir and Rohan had come up with a script. They had then, I think, Prateek, Anisa, Arjun. I think very soon we had the entire team together. We started online rehearsals.
Wonderful.
And before we knew it, we had wrapped up and there was this wonderful end product. And I think Ramneek can tell you some more about our nightly chats.
Awesome. Yeah, Ramneek, would like to know from you as well.
Yeah, so when it happened, obviously Simran's had a background in theatre journalism. She's done a few plays, she's done really well. With me, there was nothing of the sort. She called me up one evening and we were just talking about what we were doing. I've been working with a volunteer group here since the beginning of the pandemic. When we started talking about the project, it kind of seemed very relevant to pick up, very relevant for today. There was migration, there was food, there was all these issues. And we came up with a few concepts and it just started from there. And then, then there was Kabir, who wrote everything beautifully, and everybody else who put the film came together. It was really lovely.
Wonderful. And I must say, being productive even in the lockdown, that's been really great. And necessity is the mother of invention. When we are all sitting in the lockdown inside in our homes, I think this is the best thing that you could have come up with, such a beautiful, wonderful movie with a lovely message and a noble cause. So I would like to ask you, Simran, that since you happen to have a journalism background, so do you think that it helped you in any way in, like contemplating the idea of this movie anyhow?
100%, because I came from a background where we were always doing short stories. And, we were putting programs together. I was working with a Business India show. We were putting programs together, whether it was sexual harassment on women, whether it was a program on the TRAI. And I came from that news. But I was always into the soft stories. I was never into hardcore news. So it was always a cultural show or, it was one of those kind of things. So I think it was very easy for me and to fit into this mold. Of course, I'm not a writer. I'm not a script writer. So I could put down the concepts, and then Kabir and Rohan, they kind of, Kabir ended up writing the script and he did it fabulously, but he was able to pick up my message and what I wanted to convey. So definitely my background was 100%, part of the reason that I took this step and wanted to branch out into this field.
Yeah, I would also like to ask you, Simran, about a brief about your theater background because you happen to have been into theater as well. So, how did that thing help, and what's been in the
Yes.
theater, if you can tell?
So theater, of course, I was always on stage. I worked with Amir Raza. We did a lot of plays. I did a lot of sex comedies. We did Legend of Ram. And with him, the great thing was he was always, it was always actors and production together. So we were never just actors alone. So I think that he was a game changer. I mean, my college experience and my post-college experience with him was a real game changer because it really toughened me up. There was no namby-pambiness, and we weren't allowed to really make mistakes and cry and stuff like that. So we were thrown into the field. I mean, I remember this one play where he gave me the script overnight and said, just learn the lines. And the next day, and we were performing at Rajputana Jaipur, and then we had to go to Jodhpur, and he was like, go onto stage, and it wasn't the biggest role, but I was like, oh my God, how am I going to learn these lines? But it was sink or swim. So it was, it was a really fun journey and toughened me up hugely. And yeah, I'm very grateful for those experiences.
Awesome. And I would like to ask Ramneek and Simran, both of you, that you both are so beautiful, good looking. Any plans of getting into movies in near future?
Not with competition like Anisa, not at all.
I think when we saw Anisa the first time on Zoom, I started going, oh my God, my skin is hanging. Oh my God, Anisa is looking so gorgeous. Oh my God, this is where the 15-year age gap is showing.
No doubt. And now this gets me to the
I think we're quite happy feeling like the big bosses.
Yeah. So now after the directors of the movie, I would love to come on the producers of the movie. So I would like to inform the audience a bit about Kabir. Kabir is a 9-time international award-winning filmmaker. Oh my God, 9 times, not once, not twice, 9 times. That's amazing, Kabir. And he's a social entrepreneur. He's also a part-time into philosophy, music, and illustrator. So, Kabir, I would like you to just brief a bit about the serial awards that you got in the past. If you can tell a bit about that, 9 times international award winner.
I don't know whether it's appropriate for me to be talking about my own accolades, but but just to tell you, I've basically done about 9 short films, and that is pre-Hangout. And some of those, of course, the ones I made initially were shot myself. So I had a camera that I would take around and I would shoot and edit myself, and I would write and direct. Of course, I would do everything. And after that, subsequently, I started to get my teams on board and collaboratively create these films. And of course, some of them went and picked up some awards, but none of the films that I made on my own, which was with my own camera, and the ones that I edited and shot myself, got awards. So what I'm trying to tell you is that basically, even the films that got awards, it's not credited only to me, it's credited to the entire team. So it's not even for me to say that I've won 9 international awards. That's probably not right, because those awards are not mine. Those belong to the teams that have worked on these films. But yes, those films have won those awards and have gone to several festivals internationally.
Great, wonderful. And I would like to know about the movie Hangout from director's point of view.
From my point of view, well, I think that the USP of the film is the fact that it was entirely virtually directed. And the fact that our crew was so far spread out all over the world, in fact. And I think what was unique for me as an experience was to in fact collaborate and to speak to people who I had never met, or I'd never probably met, or people I know that I may have, had it not been for the pandemic, I probably wouldn't have met. So that was something that was very special, I think, and that is what made this film a novel experience. And apart from that, of course, the whole message of these migrants and this girl who is basically an activist for trying to raise funds for these migrant laborers who have to walk miles to get back home. I think that was something that was the crux and the pivot of the film, because essentially the film, I knew, had to have some form of social messaging at the end of it. The idea of a film is not just solely entertainment, but a lot more, right? So film should have a certain quality and a certain texture to it that define it from that kind of define it as separate from the regular kind of riffraff that we see in Bollywood. So I knew that the that social messaging and the subtext of the migrants was something that was a very critical part of the film. That is what I'd like to say. Yes.
Yeah, no, it is amazing, and I'm sure you've done full justice to the social message that you've sent through the movie, and people are going to enjoy it, and they would love watching it. And it's a really emotional and sentimental movie at the same time. So now I would like to come to the co-director, Prateek. Prateek is an award-winning filmmaker whose last short film, Grill, won both awards and acclaim. If you could tell something about the award-winning film, a bit about the movie Grill, Prateek.
So Grill was just another film that I made in 2018, and one of the short films that probably the previous one that I did before Hangout, because last year I was shooting my indie film. So Grill is again a very interesting story about a pavement dweller who aspires to have a home in a mega city like Mumbai, and that story was shared to me by the writer Swati, and the story itself was so engaging, and I was like, I know this person, I've seen these people. Whenever I take an auto rickshaw ride from Andheri West to say Andheri East, I see so many such people who are probably sleeping in the street in the night because they don't have a shelter. So I instantly connected to that particular thought. And how would it be to have a character who actually aspires, his basic aspiration is a house, and we are by God's grace privileged enough to have our own houses, have our सर के ऊपर कहते हैं ना छत है. तो उसकी basically उसकी कहानी है कि उसको he eventually lands up into a house which is actually owned by a girl who probably works at a call center or a BPO. So it's a very sweet, romantic story actually between the house and the street dweller. So really enjoyed making that one as well.
And are you inclined towards making movies towards the social cause always? Because even this one is more towards the message, a social message and a cause.
So my idea is to tell the story and stay true to the characters. The messaging will eventually, I guess, take care of itself. And of course, having worked with people like Mr. Shyam Benegal, he has always told us one thing, that whenever you write something or whenever you make something, it has to reflect its times. It has to reflect the societal fabric that we live in. So of course that thought is there, and but that comes pretty much at the initial level. Once you're telling a story, then you're telling a story, and as I said, the messaging pretty much takes care of itself. And I think that was the case with even Hangout also, that most of the framework was laid by Kabir. So while we were executing it, there was no added baggage to tell a social message. It was there. It is there for people to see, and you don't have to slap it onto their faces कि देखो हम social message दे रहे हैं.
Wonderful. Yeah, and as an assistant with the legendary filmmaker Shyam Benegal, if you can tell the audience a brief about your experience of working with the legendary like Shyam Benegal.
Well, it's like if I have to put it in a word or a phrase, I will say it's been a life-turning experience for me. And to see a legend like him work so closely. And of course, we personally inside our unit, we call him the encyclopedia, because he's well informed about anything, any material that he's making. And for me, there were a lot of things I learned from Mr. Benegal, technicalities apart. But the first thing I learned, I used to be a very angry AD, a very angry assistant director. So working with Shyam Benegal sir actually calmed me down that you don't need to yell on set. Things will take care of themselves. You don't need to yell at the spot boy. You don't need to yell at the lightman. You don't need to yell at actors. You don't need to yell. You don't need to raise your voice. You just need to direct everyone, and that's what a director is doing. They are just helping everybody out on the set to figure what they are supposed to do and extracting those things. And I really enjoyed the way he, being an actor myself, I really enjoyed the way he would work with his actors and brief them. So a lot of things. I think I can go on and on for hours together if I
For
have
that,
to.
I think we need a separate interview with you, a
Yes,
talk show
yes,
with you.
yes.
And as a filmmaker, what do you have to say about Hangout?
Well, I really, as a filmmaker, really enjoyed and proud to be a part of a film like Hangout, which is, in the middle of the lockdown, we were able to pull it off both creatively and at execution level. Really, like Kabir said, that we were working with people whom and interacting with people whom we hadn't met with or didn't have a working rapport with. I was working with Arjun, Anisa for the first time. I did not know Simran, Ramni. So it all just came together, synergized perfectly. And as a filmmaker, yes, I really actually enjoyed doing my bit because my job was concerning, extracting performances from these two lovely actors, and I was more than happy to do that job. I really love working with my actors, and I really love my actors. So really enjoyed that.
That's nice. Awesome. And I would like to ask both of you, Prateek and Kabir, that are you hoping to get an award for this movie as well?
I don't know. I don't think we look at we don't, when we're making a film, we're doing it for the love of it. We're not thinking about the accolades and the awards. That is the last thought on our minds. But yes, I mean, it will feel nice if it does pick up a few awards along the way. I mean, that definitely will be an extra feather on the cap. But whether that's an end goal, I'm not so sure. It's never, we never, you know.
I wish all the best because since already you have been award-winning, directors, both of you. So maybe you never know, and I wish you all the best for getting award for this movie as well in near future. And if I can ask you, Prateek, that currently you're working on the post-production of your indie feature and also writing is next. So if you can briefly tell about that as well.
Oh, well, the indie feature we actually shot last year in Dehradun and around. It was again, a very small team, very closely knit together, and we shot this film, most of it. And we had to shoot a few more sequences because of the pandemic. We couldn't, so otherwise the film would have been ready by now. It's a nice story of a guy who wants to be a singer-songwriter, but he's confused with his music, and he eventually finds his voice as he goes through that journey. So that's the Hindi feature, Hindi and Indie. And in terms of Kabir, I didn't hear you.
I said much like Hangout, you plagiarized my film, Prateek.
Yeah. We can plagiarize each other's films, Kabir. You own my films, I own yours. So don't worry. So and the other film that we are working on, it's very nascent actually to speak much about it, but it's a nice little story, and it's a regional language film. Again, it has its own social relevance according to me, but too soon to discuss more than that.
No, wishing you all the best for your future endeavors, Prateek, and may you both come up again with a brilliant movie in near future as well as a director and co-director. So now we come to the main character of the movie, the actor, Arjun Singh here. So he's a 24-year-old actor who has been working in film since as long as he can remember. He started his journey with working in ads like Milo, Nestle, and Reliance. He worked in My Name is Khan with Dharma Productions at the age of 11. Since then, he has been working on his craft. He has also worked in casting company for a year. During the lockdown, he has shot 2 films, The Hangout being one of them. So I would like to ask you, Arjun, experience of working for a movie for a DD plus Hotstar and full screen, since you have the experience of working on the full screen as well as for the DD, plus Hotstar.
I mean, see, it's a very rewarding experience. At the end of the day, you get to see yourself. You worked really hard for it. This is what we do. We practice and hope something big and something great will come of it. So yeah, I mean, I saw myself on like in the theaters as a child. So that was really a long time back. That was more than 10 years back. But it was a surreal experience. But then again, to sit and just go on Hotstar and see your own little project, it's a very rewarding experience. It makes you feel really good. And it also kind of reminds you that, yeah, this is why we work so hard, and it drives you to, like, you know, constantly work hard.
Great, wonderful. And what about, like, is it ads for you or movies? Since you worked in ads as well as movies both. So what do you prefer more?
Movies, any day, any day. It's like, you can ask this to anyone. Like, it's a question that everyone would want to work in movies, because it's a longer experience. Like, again, it's a more rewarding experience. You get to learn so much more, and then again, you get to explore your craft so much more. Like an ad, if you just have to deliver a line that's about a product, then you don't have to say it a certain way. It's just about doing it, and it's about the look of the ad. But in the movie, so many other things come to play, like your character, your arc, how much you can prepare for it, what your character has to do through it. Do you have to learn a certain skill for it? So yeah, definitely movies, without a doubt.
Great, wonderful. And if not an actor, then what?
Nothing. I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's been my passion ever since I can remember. So I've never really looked into anything else. I mean, I play a lot of sports. So if not an actor, I would probably be trying my hand at football. I used to represent my school. I almost represented my country. It's just that my parents didn't allow me to miss those days of school and tuitions and all of that. But yeah.
And what next and more do we expect from Arjun?
So currently, I also shot another short film with Mr. Rajat Kapoor. He's an actor-director himself. So he played the role of my father, and it's a short film. It's currently in edit right now. So other than that, yeah, I mean, like, we're working hard every day. We're working on our art. We're working on our craft. And yeah, I'm waiting for this other film to come out as well. I'm waiting to see it. I haven't really watched it either. But other than that, I mean, I am in talks about a few more projects, another couple of short films, a feature film as well. So, I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So eventually, when things work out, I can announce it to everyone. Yeah.
We sure are looking for many more in near future and to watch you on the full screen. And of course, the Disney Plus Hotstar. And this question, you know, I would like to ask Simran, because while I was talking to her on the phone, she told me that these kind of movies are becoming a trend nowadays. Because when I asked her, is it just a 12-minute movie? So she said even the main film stars are getting into making these 12-minute movies and short movies. So if you can tell something about this short movie new concept, Simran.
So there is a huge industry. There's a whole short film industry, and actually Kabir and Prateek would be able to tell you more about it since they're working directly over there. But if you go on to YouTube and you go on to all the, if you go on to all the websites, a lot of companies that are like Hamara Movies, Shorted, they're all launching these short films. And people don't have a problem watching it because they're 12, 14 minutes and you have a full story that's revealed. In fact, recently I saw nice one, Anishchay, on again one of these sites, and it was literally I think 18 or 19 minutes. But I think Prateek, Kabir, would you want to answer that?
So I think for me personally, from what I understand, why people make short films is not necessarily because there's a short film industry, but because of the fact that, you know, short films becomes a ticket for a bigger project. Right, so it becomes like a visiting card that, you know, you made a short film and you can show it to people that, okay, this is what I've made, this is my level of competence, and then you can bag a bigger project. Or you know, even for not just for directors, but even for producers, for writers, for the rest of the crew, it becomes like, you know, their portfolio or their show reel, right? So, you know, producers or even directors or writers, when they make a short film, they go to probably bigger financiers and then they show the short film, and on that they're given bigger budgets to play with. So that's really how it works actually.
Now we'll come to the main character of the movie, the most beautiful and gorgeous actress, Anisha. She is a British Asian actress who has worked in theatre, web series, commercials, and feature films in both London and Mumbai. In Hangout, she plays the female protagonist, Alia, who's on a very personal mission to aid migrant workers during the pandemic. So, Anisa, I would like to have a brief information of your works in theater, web series, commercials, and feature films.
Yeah, I've just yeah, it's lovely to be here, first of all, and yeah, thank you for for the wishes. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. You know, I just feel very fortunate to have worked in both India and London. And the first project which really took off in India for me was Ishan, which was for Disney Channel. Red Chillies at that time had Idiot Box. So, you know, that show was not anticipated to be as big as it was, but we got a very big, you know, children following basically at that time. And yeah, it was lovely to establish myself at that point of time doing Disney. I think I learned so much doing that. And then fortunately, it opened the doors to feature films for me. But it's been a journey, you know. I've felt a little bit as like an outsider in Bombay as well, and trying to find where you fit has been challenging for sure. But I really can't complain. I've got to work with some really great people and production houses like Dharma and Excel, and they've all been wonderful, wonderful experiences. And I last did a web series called Code M, which was on Z5 and Alt. And then yeah, I was really fortunate to do short films such as Hangouts as well. So it's been a great journey doing multiple things.
So I would love to know, how was your experience working for the movie Hangout as a female
Yeah,
protagonist?
yes, it was. Well, I was so happy to get the script and read the script when Kabir sent it across. I really loved the story. I thought, you know, stories like they were speaking before, you know, which have social messages, I find it even more interesting and apt for an audience to watch. And as an audience member myself, it's something that I would love to watch. So I think somewhere down the line as an actor, I kind of decided, you know, if I'm not convicted, if I would not watch this myself, then why would I do it technically, you know? So I feel like I got to that point where I do question when I read a script. And when this came along, I really fell in love with it, and I thought it would be wonderful to be part of it. And then we just started rehearsing, and the team came together really beautifully, even though it was very new for all of us, you know, through technology, making this happen. So I really did not anticipate any kind of end result. I think we all went into it just very excited to be shooting something and, you know, hoping for the best. But now the fact that it's on Hotstar and, you know, Disney for everyone to watch, I think it's a huge testimony to, you know, to the team.
Wonderful. And what do we see you more as, like a theater person, web series, commercials, or feature films?
I mean, like Arjun said, I think the goal for all of us, you know, we all want to do feature films. I think my heart is definitely in films.
Okay.
Even though theater is super, super special to me. Like I definitely started in theater. I think there's certain things that theater teaches you that film does not teach you.
True.
Such as discipline and you know, being a good team player. But and being on stage, of course, it's wonderful to get, you know, that applause at the end. Yeah, you can't beat that feeling either. But there's something very magical about film. I think the fact there's so many people who come together to create this magic, you know, you can't possibly do it all on your own. You know, there's so many different elements, and it makes it all the more magical. So definitely my heart is in film if I had a choice.
Great, wonderful. And if not an actress, then what?
Yeah, I mean, I've been asked this so many times. I think like if I really had to make a choice, it would probably have been criminal psychology, because I was very, very fascinated with the human mind and behavior. But I feel both are so interlinked actually. Like I still read a lot about psychology because I feel as an actor, when we're trying to embody different characters, it's important to explore, you know, our different emotions. So probably, maybe, who knows?
Great, wonderful. So what next and more?
So again, I'm testing for things currently. I am giving, you know, we're in the age of self-taping now with the pandemic going on. But I finished an indie feature film also here in the UK, which I just recently dubbed for. And other than that, I am speaking about another feature. Let's see if that happens. And yeah, nothing as solid that I can say right now is definitely coming up. But hopefully a lot of good things in the pipeline.
Great. Looking forward as well, and hoping to see you on main screen, and looking forward for your more movies in near future. So this is a question to everybody, whoever would like to answer it, that how much does it cost for making such a kind of movie, and what is the commercial model to it?
Simran and Ramnik should take this. I am
Definitely.
not taking this.
So I think, when we, very honestly, when we stumbled into this, it wasn't really about the commercials and the finances. It was about putting our brains to use, getting something going, sending out a message. The rest we're still trying to rework. So it's a first for us. So I can't really delve into details because we're also learning on the job.
Right, great, wonderful. And as you all know, the program is about madhvisluxury.co. I would like to ask you one-liner answer on what's luxury according to each one of you.
Luxury is being able to make my next short film. That's luxury for me. Because that's always a challenge.
And if I may ask you, what is the budget for the next short film? Maybe I have a producer. I can give you a producer for that.
I don't know. I mean, anything will do. As long as I get to make a film, I'm okay.
Bigger the
Soon
better.
I'll find you a producer soon.
And
Yeah. So
I think luxury,
lux-
living in London, I think luxury for me would be not washing dishes or having to drive my own car. I think that would be luxury.
absolutely.
Nothing else.
Anisha.
and luxury for
Yeah, go Simran, go Simran.
no, you go.
Yeah, I think it would be a luxury just to be able to do what we love to do every single day. I think that would be a definite luxury.
Great, wonderful. Simran,
Yeah.
how about you?
So for me, exactly as what Anisa said, Henry Higgins said, happy is a man who can make a profession out of his hobby. And to me, passion and profession, that is luxury.
Lovely, awesome. Arjun, how about you?
I think luxury to me would be getting projects like Hangout and getting directors and getting the teams like Hangout on a very regular basis. I think that would be a very luxurious life.
Awesome. Kabir.
I know where Arjun is coming from.
Where is he coming from? I'm curious.
I'll tell you later.
We're waiting to hear from you now, Kabir.
I already said, I said that luxury is being able to make my next short film. That's luxury for me.
Okay, right. Great.
I mean,
Wonderful.
but for all filmmakers, it's always about the next project, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go for a rapid fire round, and I'm going to ask each one of you one question each. So, Ramnik, what are you most passionate about?
Reading. That's easy. Reading.
Pratik, your strength?
My strength, oh my God, my strength is my logic, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, great. Anisa, what about your weakness?
Oh God, weakness. I'm probably I feel like I can be quite impatient sometimes when I know what I want and it's not happening. So probably impatient.
That's an honest confession. And Arjun, one favorite one-liner, your favorite one-liner.
One-liner. I mean, there are quite a few, but when you put me on the spot, I don't really remember any. I was preparing myself for a different kind of question. Why don't you guys help me out?
Okay, so I'll give you another one. This will go to Simran. Simran, your favorite one-liner.
She's stuck.
Perceptions of the same reality.
Arjun's would have been till yaar. Was it
Different perceptions.
No.
So to Arjun, I would like to ask one relationship rule you always follow.
Oh my God.
Relationship rule that I always follow.
He's been in a committed relationship with you know who for the longest time.
Yeah,
And
so
he didn't want to do a kissing scene in a film because he said my girlfriend will feel bad.
my girlfriend, I just don't do it.
That's a good relationship. Be completely loyal to your girlfriend. That's great.
Yeah.
And Simran, I'm waiting for an answer from you.
What did you ask me?
Your favorite one-liner.
Oh, different perceptions of the same reality. There are many
Okay.
stories someone can create with the same vision. It's
Yes.
definitely my most favorite line.
Lovely. And Kabir, your strategy in crisis.
My strategy in crisis is to chill. It's to chill. It's to take a step back from all the madness and take a chill. That's it. That's my strategy. And then just, when you take a step back, you can see things more objectively. So yeah, just analyze it and look at it more objectively and then choose which direction to go.
Wonderful. Awesome. And Anisa, if you could define love.
Oh, wow.
Romy.
I think love is just the ability to like look outside yourself and empathize and care and be compassionate towards another human being. So it doesn't have to be about a partnership. It can be a friendship. It can be family. I think that's what love is to me.
Beautiful. Lovely. And if I can ask Prateek, describe your 2020 in one word.
My 2020 in one word: injuries.
Oh no!
And
Oh no!
like book or web series for you.
Sorry.
Sorry, what?
Books or web series for you.
For me,
Yeah.
I think I've not watched too many web series actually. So books.
So books. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And now this goes to Arjun. What is the one thing no one knows about you?
One thing no one knows about me.
Yes.
I mean, if I say it, then everyone will know it. But
It's a secret.
yeah, I think one thing no one knows about me is that I'm not allowed in the kitchen in my house because I tend to break anything I touch because I'm very clumsy. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Great. And Simran, describe yourself in one word.
Me,
Yeah.
happy. Happy.
Perfect. Hang on.
And to Kabir, a self-discovery during the lockdown.
Self-discovery. Self-discovery was, well, there were too many actually. I think it was not self-discovery. I think it was a complete rediscovery. It was a complete rediscovery. It's like kind of rewiring your mind and becoming a whole new different person at the end of lockdown.
Absolutely. And this goes to Prateek. What do you find most passionate about your work?
What do I find most passionate about my work? The work itself is very passionate. I feel the entire work is very passionate, not one thing specifically.
Great. And Ramneek, you de-stress with?
Sorry?
You de-stress with?
My dog. They've all heard him barking all the time. I've had to lock him away. He's always next to me 24/7. So definitely my dog.
Lovely.
So family
And
is very
Anissa, big party or small parties?
Oh, small parties any day.
Zoom parties.
Yeah.
नहीं, in person, please. अभी तो like Zoom बहुत हो गया.
Very scared of lockdown again. So no.
Yeah. So Arjun, for you, beaches or mountains?
For me, mountains every day. Mountains. I miss the mountains. I go there.
But yeah, you stay next to a beach.
But yeah, I miss the mountains. Yeah, terribly.
Right. And Simran, health shot you swear by?
Sorry, the health shot I swear by my cold coffee in the morning.
Okay.
That's my health shot. It's my immune booster.
And to Kabir, which podcast do you always listen to?
Who? Sorry?
Podcast. Which podcast do you always listen? Yeah.
So there is this guy called Dick Stephen who had this psychokinesis podcast that I used to listen to. I don't know why, but there was a point in my life I was really into like people who had psychokinetic abilities, who could levitate and who could bend the spoons with their hands and, with their minds and, all those kinds of things, or turn the clock with their mind. So I used to listen to that and I used to practice those meditative practices also, and nothing came out of it. I'm not able to bend anything now.
Great. Wonderful. And this is a question which goes to all of you. You all can decide who's going to answer. So I would like to ask you about the, the drug scandal that's going on in the Bollywood industry. What do you have to say about that?
That
That's very
I don't
loaded.
think anyone wants to answer. I don't
That's
think
very
anyone
loaded.
wants
I mean,
to
literally,
answer that.
There's no right answer to that.
That
It's so
is the subject
it's a
of our
loaded
next
question. There's no right answer. Everybody's getting. It doesn't matter what side of the thing you're on. You're going to get into trouble. You've got people, and I just feel everybody's getting targeted. I mean, everybody. It started off with something different, and it's landed somewhere else.
Gone.
It's one of those things I don't think any of us want to get involved with.
Okay, so my last question, I would like to ask you about the casting couch in the industry, since you all belong to the Bollywood industry.
You know, as producers, I have to say that's normally how it started. So we're going to be out of this one.
Whoever wants to answer it.
I'm not equipped to answer this. I am not equipped. I think Arjun and I can answer this.
I mean,
Casting
I have casting experience for a year because I was in this company, my boss, and my payroll casting, and I've never experienced or seen because like anything like that take place in my office or in the offices around us because we were all connected usually. So, and it was almost always like that never happens. I think that only happens in like say like in the B grade. Or it happens when people want to just scam people out of it, but officially I've never seen or heard any of that happen. And as an actor, it never happened to me either. Like no one has ever said you need to compromise or meet me here outside the office. None of that stuff has ever happened. So
You know the privilege of being a male also, no? I think maybe Anisa will have to say that.
I don't think so. Anybody is fair in
Very true.
question.
That's
Be a
very
male or female.
Anita's a Brit. I don't think she's approachable.
Oh God. Well, yeah, it would be a lie to say that. It would be a lie to say it doesn't exist. But I really feel that it is in every industry.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can get it in every industry, whether it's corporate. It's just that media sensationalizes it. Fortunately, I've not really had to deal with it one-on-one, but I have heard stories about it. I believe it happens everywhere. So I feel like we can't pin it on the film industry.
Madhu, I want to say that I think with women having a louder voice, with the media helping, with the fact that women are getting more confident, what you would once be ashamed of or just take on yourself, I feel that women now express themselves better. So if something was to happen, I think just having the support structure and women empower women. So as long as we're there to help each other, I think it's something that can actually be dealt with. Not for everybody, but I'm sure it wouldn't be as bad as it was before.
No, must say very well said and very well expressed. Lovely to get your point of view on these questions. And thank you so much for being here on madhuisluxury.co. It's been a real pleasure and honor hosting such a dynamic, talented, wonderful, beautiful team here today with me. And all the best for your movie. And guys, do go and watch it out. It's a beautiful movie with a lovely message. And I must tell you all that lockdown is a journey of adjusting to the new normal. While it is so easy to get caught up in our own lives and troubles, let's come together as a society to our generosity to those who need it during these difficult times. And it's a wonderful message. On every talk show of mine, I ask people for a message on COVID-19. But today, I don't think so I require it. You should just go watch and you'll get the message. So let's all be more compassionate, more considerate towards the less privileged. Awesome message, noble cause, and all the best to all of you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.